Earth had never been so quiet. The day Ambassador John Carter and his team of 12 left for the Galactic Council, nearly every human on the planet stopped to watch. It was the moment humanity had waited for since first discovering alien radio signals 30 years ago. After decades of careful messages back and forth, the Council had finally invited Earth to send representatives. The spacecraft Unity carried Earth's hopes into the stars. It wasn't the most advanced ship by galactic standards, but it represented the best human engineering. Its gleaming white hull displayed the United Nations symbol and the words, "We come in peace," in 50 Earth languages. Ambassador Carter stood tall as he led his team through the airlock into the massive Council station. A career diplomat with gray at his temples, he had prepared for this moment for 5 years. Behind him walked Dr. Maria Gonzalez, Earth's leading xenobiologist, and Major Frank Wilson, their military liaison. "Remember, no sudden movements," Carter whispered. "Follow protocol exactly as practiced." The alien greeting party waited in the docking bay. The delegation included 6 different species: the blue-skinned Iridians, the insectoid Vex, the 4-armed Quarians, and others humans had only seen in transmitted images. The head of the greeting party, a tall Iridian named First Speaker Zol, stepped forward. "Welcome, Earth representatives. The Council acknowledges your presence." Carter bowed slightly, exactly as instructed in previous communications. "Earth thanks the Galactic Council for this historic opportunity." Everything seemed to be going perfectly. The humans followed their alien guides through massive corridors filled with technologies beyond Earth's dreams. Carter noted how other aliens stopped to stare at the humans with what appeared to be curiosity or surprise. The trouble began during the formal introduction ceremony, when Carter presented Earth's gift, a simple crystal containing human art, music, and literature. Major Wilson moved his hand to adjust his uniform. Within seconds, the chamber filled with armed security drones. The Vex representative emitted a high-pitched screech that the translators rendered as "weapon." "The primitive has a weapon." Wilson froze. "I don't have any weapons. We came unarmed as requested." Security officers surrounded the human delegation. A scan revealed Wilson's military pocket knife, a ceremonial gift from his commander that he'd forgotten to remove. First Speaker Zol's face darkened to deep navy. "Primitives who cannot follow basic instructions cannot be trusted." "The gesture is clear. You come with hidden aggression." "This is a misunderstanding," Carter pleaded. "It's a ceremonial tool, not a weapon." Silence. The Quarian representative raised all 4 arms. "The Council has seen enough. Humans clearly aren't ready for galactic society." Within minutes, the entire Earth delegation was surrounded and separated. Carter caught a glimpse of Dr. Gonzalez being pushed down a different corridor before a guard shoved him forward. "This is a diplomatic mission," Carter shouted. "We have rights under interstellar law." The Iridian guard laughed. "Primitives don't understand. Your species has no standing. The Council will decide your fate." 3 days passed in small, separate cells. On the 4th day, Carter managed to bribe a maintenance worker from a species he didn't recognize. The alien slipped him a small communication device. Carter had one chance. He sent a compressed message toward Earth. "Diplomatic mission failed. Imprisoned without cause. Council hostile. Prepare for possible aggression. They underestimate us completely. Do not send unarmed ships." As he finished transmitting, the door to his cell slid open. First Speaker Zol stood there with 4 guards. "Ambassador Carter, the Council has reached its decision. Your species will be quarantined until deemed safe. You and your team will remain here as insurance against human aggression." Carter met Zol's gaze steadily. "You're making a mistake. Humans come in peace, but we don't take imprisonment lightly." Zol smiled coldly. "What could your primitive species possibly do about it?" Carter said nothing, but a small smile formed on his lips. The aliens had no idea what they had just started. Earth received Ambassador Carter's message exactly 27 days after the Unity's departure. In the underground military complex beneath Wyoming's mountains, General Susan Foster played the message for the 5th time. "They've imprisoned our people," she said to the assembled military and scientific leaders. "The Galactic Council has shown their true nature." "How long until they come here?" asked Admiral George Bell. "Unknown," replied Foster. "But we need to assume the worst. Ladies and gentlemen, as of this moment, we are on a war footing." The room fell silent. Humanity had dreamed of peaceful contact with alien civilizations. Now they faced potential invasion by species with technologies far beyond Earth's. "We need an edge," said Lieutenant Kate Miller, a young physicist with bright eyes and a brilliant mind. "Something they won't expect." "Explain," Foster ordered. Miller stepped forward. "The aliens use quantum-based sensors. I've been studying their communication signatures. I believe we can create a blind spot in their detection systems. Essentially, we could make our ships invisible." "How long to develop this technology?" asked Foster. 6 weeks, Miller said confidently. "Maybe 5. "You have 3, Foster replied. In the shipyards orbiting Mars, Captain Daniel Wright inspected his new command. The Defiance wasn't pretty. A hodgepodge of Earth's most advanced technologies cobbled together in secret over the past 5 years. But it was fast, and, if Lieutenant Miller's stealth system worked, it would be invisible to alien sensors. "What do you think, Captain?" asked the chief engineer, Pete Douglas, a stocky man with calloused hands and 20 years of spacecraft experience. Wright ran his hand along the ship's control panel. "She's not conventional. But that's exactly what we need. Conventional won't save our people." "The weapon systems are unlike anything we've built before," Douglas said, "based on what we learned from studying alien transmissions. They use energy shields that block traditional projectiles." "And our solution?" Wright asked. "Quantum-phase tungsten rounds. They'll be in one phase when they leave our guns, then shift as they hit the shields. Should pass right through and rematerialize inside their hulls." Wright nodded. "Let's hope it works. We won't get a second chance." Meanwhile, in the Galactic Council chambers, First Speaker Zoll addressed the assembly. The human quarantine proceeds as planned. Their primitive spacecraft has been impounded, and the delegates remain in custody. An ancient delegate from the Morn Collective raised a gnarled appendage. "Has anyone consulted the historical archives regarding humans?" "Unnecessary," Zoll replied dismissively. "They're pre-FTL primitives with minimal space presence." "The archives suggest caution," the elder insisted. "Several species who encountered Earth's radio signals conducted remote studies. All noted the humans' remarkable capacity for adaptation and their concerning fixation with warfare scenarios." "Primitive warfare," another council member scoffed. "Chemical propellants and crude nuclear fission, nothing that could threaten modern defenses." "Perhaps," the elder said softly. "But they think differently than us. My species recommends releasing their delegates as a gesture of goodwill." Zoll shook his head. "The council has decided. The humans will remain contained until properly evaluated. Beyond Jupiter, hidden in the shadow of Europa, Earth's small fleet assembled. 5 ships, each equipped with Miller's stealth system and Wright's special weapons. The largest was the Defiance, but even it was tiny compared to the massive council vessels. Captain Wright addressed his crew over the ship's communication system. "We are about to attempt something no humans have done before. We will rescue our people and show the galaxy that Earth won't be pushed around. They think us primitive and harmless. They're about to learn how wrong they are." Lieutenant Miller looked up from her station. "Stealth systems ready, Captain." Wright nodded. "All ships, prepare for jump. Operation Breakout begins now." The small fleet vanished into the darkness of space, invisible even to Earth's own tracking systems. The countdown had begun. The Galactic Council prison station orbited a dead moon in a forgotten corner of the Andromeda system. Its security relied on two things: its remote location and the assumption that no primitive species could reach it undetected. Captain Wright stood on the bridge of the Defiance as they dropped out of FTL, just beyond the station's sensor range. "Status?" he asked quietly. Lieutenant Miller checked her instruments. "Stealth systems functioning perfectly. They have no idea we're here." Wright nodded. "All hands, prepare for Operation Breakout. Strike team to the deployment bay." On the tactical display, Wright could see the other 4 ships taking up positions around the station. Each was designated to handle a specific part of the mission. "Remember," Wright told his crew, "this is a rescue operation. Minimum casualties. We're here to get our people, not start a war." In the deployment bay, Major Ricky Alvarez checked his team's equipment one last time. Their assault suits were Earth's most advanced, lightweight armor with built-in oxygen systems and magnetic boots. Each soldier carried a non-lethal stun weapon and a single sidearm with the special quantum-phased ammunition. 2 minutes to deployment, came Wright's voice over the comm. "Ready, Captain," Alvarez replied. He looked at his 12 soldiers. "Remember your training. We go in fast, locate our people, and get out." The Defiant silently approached the station's maintenance airlock, a weak point identified through careful analysis of intercepted station schematics. "Contact in 10 seconds, Miller announced. "Docking clamps ready." The ship shuddered slightly as it connected to the station. Alvarez felt the familiar drop in his stomach as the artificial gravity shifted. "Go," he ordered. The assault team moved through the airlock with practiced precision. 2 tech specialists immediately accessed the station's computer system, uploading a virus designed to scramble internal sensors and communications. "We're in," reported Specialist Sam Reed. "Internal sensors down. They're blind." "Guards still patrol visually," Specialist Amber Nash added. "Security camera loop engage." Alvarez nodded. "Team 1, with me to find the ambassadorial team. Team 2, secure our escape route." Inside the station, confusion was spreading. Alarms suddenly went silent. Door locks failed. Communication systems crackled with static. "What's happening?" demanded the station commander, a Vex named Sith. "Unknown system failure," replied his second-in-command. "Multiple sectors reporting loss of functionality. Activate emergency protocols." This could be. The door to the command center slid open. 2 human figures stood there, weapons raised. "Don't move," said Alvarez calmly. "We're just here for our people." Meanwhile, Team 1 moved quickly through the corridors, following the uploaded station schematics. They encountered 2 guard patrols, quickly neutralizing them with stun weapons. "Detention level ahead," reported Corporal Ben Jordan. "Life signs match human patterns." They rounded the corner to find a large security door. Specialist Nash connected her device to the lock mechanism. 3, 2, 1. Got it. The door slid open to reveal Ambassador Carter and 3 other members of the Earth delegation. Carter's eyes widened in disbelief. "How did you?" "Later, sir," Alvarez cut in. "We need to move now." As they gathered the rest of the Earth team from nearby cells, Dr. Maria Gonzalez handed Alvarez a small data chip. "I managed to access their systems during a medical examination," she whispered. "They're planning something big, a preemptive strike against Earth." Alvarez nodded grimly. All the more reason to hurry. On the Defiance, Captain Wright monitored the operation. "Extraction team has our people. Beginning Phase 2. The other 4 ships suddenly dropped their stealth systems and powered up weapons, not to fire, but to be seen, a demonstration of human capabilities. Station Commander Sith stared at the suddenly appearing vessels in horror. "Impossible. They couldn't have reached us. They don't have that technology." As Alvarez's team rushed back toward the Defiance with the freed hostages, the station erupted into chaos. Alarms that had been silenced now blared at full volume. "All teams aboard," Miller reported. "Docking clamps released." Wright nodded. "Send the message, then get us out of here." A single transmission burst from the Defiance to the station's command center. This was a rescue mission. We came for our people. Remember this the next time you underestimate humanity. As the 5 Earth ships vanished back into stealth mode, the Galactic Council received an emergency transmission from the station. The peaceful primitives had just done the impossible, and the galaxy would never be the same. The data chip stolen by Dr. Gonzalez proved invaluable. It contained the Galactic Council's entire military database, including their plans for Earth. Commander Lisa Ortiz studied the information in the war room beneath the Rocky Mountains. "They're coming," she told the assembled military leaders. "A fleet of 50 ships will arrive at Neptune's orbit in 2 weeks." General Foster frowned. "How many can we field against them?" 23 combat-ready vessels with the stealth technology," Ortiz replied, "plus the planetary defense grid Dr. Powell has been developing." Dr. Alan Powell was a thin man with thick glasses and an even thicker accent. He stepped forward, activating a holographic display of the solar system. "My quantum disruptors are ready," he said. "We've positioned them throughout the asteroid belt and around Neptune. They won't expect them." "What exactly do these disruptors do?" asked Admiral Bell. Powell smiled slightly. "They create localized distortions in spacetime. Alien ships use quantum stabilizers for their artificial gravity and propulsion. Our disruptors will essentially trip them up." Foster nodded. "It's time to prepare for battle. Humanity's first interstellar war begins at Neptune." Earth's fleet gathered in the shadow of Triton, Neptune's largest moon. Captain Wright, now commanding a battle group of 5 ships, checked in with his captains. "Remember, we used the stealth advantage to strike first," he told them. "Hit their command ships, disrupt their formations, make them fight blind." On Earth, billions of people waited. The governments had announced the truth 3 days after the rescue mission. There had been panic at first, but now a grim determination settled over humanity. The Galactic Armada emerged from faster-than-light travel exactly where predicted. 50 ships, arranged in perfect formation. Their hulls gleamed with strange metals, and powerful weapons extended from their sides. Fleet Commander Drax of the Quarian Guard surveyed the solar system. "Primitive defenses detected around the 3rd planet. No significant threats at our current position. Should we proceed directly to Earth?" asked his second. Drax considered. "No. Their rescue operation showed unexpected capabilities. Scan thoroughly before we advance." "Scans show nothing unusual, Commander. Just normal space debris." Drax nodded. "Begin approach." Weapons charged. In the command center on Earth, Ortiz watched the alien fleet's movement. "They're taking the bait, moving into the disruption zone." Powell's fingers danced across his control panel. Disruptors activating in 3, 2, 1. In space near Neptune, invisible fields of energy suddenly flared to life. 30 of the alien ships shuddered violently as their quantum stabilizers encountered the disruption fields. Ships lurched out of formation, their precision movements suddenly chaotic. "Now," ordered Wright over the fleet channel. His ships dropped stealth mode directly behind the alien fleet. Earth vessels fired their quantum-phased weapons. The special ammunition passed through the aliens' energy shields as if they weren't there, rematerializing inside the ship's hulls. "They're behind us," shouted Drax's sensor officer. "How did they?" "Evasive maneuvers," Drax ordered. "Return fire." The battle exploded across Neptune's orbit. Earth ships darted between the larger alien vessels, using their smaller size and greater maneuverability to avoid direct hits. Powell watched from Earth. "Time for Phase 2, he said, activating a second set of disruptors. These created even larger distortions, catching 15 more alien ships. One Quarian vessel collided with another as its controls failed, both erupting in silent explosions. "We've lost 30% of the fleet," reported Drax's tactical officer. "Their weapons bypass our shields completely." Drax's mandibles clicked in frustration. "How is this possible? They're pre-FTL primitives." On the Defiance, Wright ordered his battle group to pull back. Hit and run. Don't give them a stationary target. Earth's ships took damage too. 2 smaller vessels were destroyed by alien energy weapons. The Defiance itself lost its port thrusters to a direct hit. We can't maintain this advantage forever, Wright told Ortiz over the secure channel. Their numbers are still greater. Hold position, Ortiz replied. Reinforcements are coming. From behind Triton emerged 10 more Earth ships, fresh from the shipyards at Mars. They had been completed just days before and rushed to Neptune. Seeing the new arrivals and his mounting losses, Drax made his decision. Order a retreat, he commanded. We need to regroup and reassess. These humans are not what we were told. The White House Situation Room was packed with military officers, scientists, and government officials. President Victoria Bennett sat at the head of the table, listening to reports of the battle at Neptune. Her short gray hair framed a face lined with concern but determined. So we've won the first round, she said when the reports finished. But they'll return with a larger force. Yes, Madam President, General Foster confirmed. According to Ambassador Carter's intelligence, the Council can field thousands of ships if they unite against us. President Bennett stood up and walked to the wall-sized display showing Earth's defensive capabilities. Then it's time for the warning. The room fell silent. The warning had been developed as a last resort, a plan to demonstrate humanity's resolve without fighting a prolonged war they couldn't win. Are we ready? The President asked. Dr. Powell adjusted his glasses. The global broadcast system is prepared. We can transmit on all frequencies the aliens use. They'll hear us everywhere. And the demonstration. Commander Ortiz stepped forward. Ready, Madam President. Our hidden fleet is in position. Bennett nodded gravely. Then let's proceed. The galaxy needs to understand who they're dealing with. 3 hours later, Earth's most powerful transmission arrays pointed toward space. Every radio telescope, satellite dish, and communication station synchronized to broadcast a single message across thousands of frequencies. President Bennett stood before a simple blue backdrop. A single camera recorded as she spoke clearly and calmly. To the Galactic Council and all spacefaring civilizations, I am Victoria Bennett, President of the United Earth Government. We speak to you following your unprovoked imprisonment of our diplomatic mission and your failed military action against our world. The message continued, translated into all known alien languages by the linguistics team that had studied alien communications for decades. You have mistaken our peaceful intentions for weakness. You have underestimated our capabilities. This is a fundamental error that we now correct. The broadcast shifted to historical footage, humanity surviving ice ages, building civilizations, developing technologies. Then came carefully selected scenes of human warfare through history. Humanity has spent thousands of years fighting itself. We have developed the art of war to degrees you cannot imagine. We have survived attempted genocide, nuclear standoffs, and countless conflicts. Each time, we emerged stronger. The broadcast showed the ruins of ancient cities, then the same locations rebuilt and thriving. We are a species that cannot be exterminated. We adapt. We overcome. We prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. The transmission then revealed what the aliens didn't know, the true extent of Earth's military capability. Hidden shipyards throughout the solar system, bases beneath the surfaces of Mars and the Moon, weapons platforms disguised as space debris. One by one, stealth fields dropped around the solar system, revealing hundreds of ships and defense installations that had been invisible to alien sensors. For 50 years, we suspected we were not alone. For 50 years, we prepared for either friendship or war. When you imprisoned our ambassador, we chose friendship and attempted a peaceful rescue. When you attacked Neptune, we defended ourselves with minimal force. The broadcast showed the massive hidden fleet, over 500 vessels of various sizes, all armed with the quantum-phased weapons that had proven so effective. We do not want war. We have seen enough of it on our own world. but make no mistake. If threatened, we will fight with everything we have." Bennett's face returned to the screen, her expression resolute. "Earth extends an open hand of friendship to peaceful species. We offer trade, cultural exchange, and mutual defense. To those who would threaten us, we offer this single warning. We come in peace, but we are armed and ready." The transmission ended, broadcasting continuously on all frequencies for 24 hours. In the Galactic Council chambers, representatives watched in stunned silence. Some species immediately called for full-scale war against the dangerous humans. Others began drafting peace proposals. First Speaker Zoll stared at the final image of Earth's hidden fleet. "What have we awakened?" he whispered. On the bridge of his ship, Fleet Commander Drax felt an unfamiliar sensation as he watched the broadcast. For the first time in his long military career, he felt afraid. The Galactic Council erupted into chaos after Earth's message. For 3 days, representatives argued about how to respond to the human threat, or opportunity, depending on which species was speaking. "They must be neutralized immediately," shouted the Kraxen delegate, his red scales flaring with anger. "These humans have hidden their true nature and military capabilities. They cannot be trusted." The elder from the Morn Collective raised a gnarled hand for silence. "I warned this council about humans. Their adaptation abilities are unlike any we've seen. A direct conflict would be costly for all." First Speaker Zoll struggled to maintain order. "We will vote on our response to Earth. Those favoring peaceful contact, raise your indicator." Roughly half the chamber's lights turned green. Those favoring military containment. The other half turned red. Zoll sighed heavily. "The council is divided. As per our ancient laws, when no consensus can be reached, individual species may proceed according to their own judgment, without committing the entire council." The Kraxen ambassador stood immediately. "The Kraxen Empire withdraws from this council session. We will address the human problem ourselves." As he stomped from the chamber, other militaristic species followed. The peaceful factions remained, already drafting possible treaties. On Earth, preparations continued. Chief Engineer Ryan Diaz supervised the final activation of the planetary shield system, a network of thousands of satellites and ground stations designed to create an energy barrier around the entire planet. "Power levels optimal," reported his assistant. "The shield can withstand concentrated bombardment for approximately 72 hours. Diaz nodded, his dark eyes fixed on the monitoring screens. "Let's hope that's enough time for our fleet to respond if we're attacked." In orbit, the Earth Defense Fleet maintained constant patrols. New ships joined daily as the shipyards worked at maximum capacity. Captain Wright had been promoted to Admiral after the Battle of Neptune, now commanding the largest division of Earth's forces. "Contact," called the sensor officer aboard Wright's new flagship, the Constellation. "Multiple signatures at the edge of the solar system. Configuration matches Kraxen warships." Wright studied the tactical display. "How many?" 150 and counting, sir. Much larger than the previous force." Wright opened a channel to Earth Command. "General Foster, we have incoming. Kraxen fleet, at least 3 times larger than the Neptune force." "Understood," Foster replied. "President Bennett is activating the shield. All fleet elements are ordered to defensive positions." The Kraxen approached faster than expected, using a different FTL technology than the previous Council fleet. They'd bypassed Neptune entirely, heading straight for Earth. "They've learned from the last battle," Diaz observed from his control center. "They're avoiding our outer system defenses." General Foster nodded. "Let them come. Activate all inner system measures." As the Kraxen fleet entered Mars orbit, they triggered dozens of hidden mines, not explosive devices, but specialized EMP weapons designed to disrupt their communications. The alien formation fractured as ships lost contact with each other. Admiral Wright seized the opportunity. "All ships, engage according to Protocol 7. Earth's fleet emerged from hiding spots throughout the inner system. Unlike the Neptune battle, They didn't rely on stealth but on overwhelming firepower. The quantum-phased weapons had been improved, now capable of piercing multiple ships with a single shot. From his flagship, Kraxen war leader Vor watched in growing horror as his forces were systematically dismantled. How are they coordinating so effectively? Our jammers should be blocking their communications. They appear to be using some kind of quantum entanglement system, his science officer replied. We can't block it because it doesn't use standard transmission methods. On Earth, Diaz monitored the shield as the first Kraxen ships broke through the defensive line and approached the planet. Shields at full power, he confirmed. They're making their run. The lead Kraxen vessels fired everything they had at Earth. Their energy weapons struck the planetary shield, creating spectacular aurora-like displays visible from the ground. Millions of humans watched from below as alien weapons splashed harmlessly against humanity's ultimate defense. Shield holding at 97%, reported Diaz's assistant. We can maintain this indefinitely. 6 months after the Kraxen defeat, Ambassador Olivia Martinez stood in the Great Chamber of the Galactic Council. Unlike John Carter before her, she was not a petitioner seeking admission. She was Earth's official representative, invited with full diplomatic status. The Solar Accords are straightforward, Martinez explained to the assembled delegates. Her voice was calm but carried throughout the vast chamber. Earth will maintain its defensive capabilities, but agrees not to expand military operations beyond our local star cluster. First Speaker Zol, considerably humbler than during their first contact, nodded. And in exchange, open technological exchange, fair trade agreements, and mutual defense pacts with interested species, Martinez replied, Earth doesn't seek conquest. We never did. We only wanted fair treatment as equals. The chamber buzzed with discussion. The defeat of the Kraxen Empire had shocked the galaxy. Several mid-tier powers had already signed individual treaties with Earth, eager to gain access to human innovations like the quantum-phased weapons and stealth technology. The Council recognizes Earth as a full member, Zol finally announced. The Solar Accords are accepted. As delegates approached to personally welcome Martinez, a small Vex observer sent a private message to his government. Humans integrate quickly. Their adaptability extends beyond technology to politics and culture. Recommendation: ally with them before others do. Back on Earth, the changes were everywhere. Alien visitors walked the streets of major cities. Exchange students from a dozen worlds attended Earth universities. Technological advances from the knowledge exchange accelerated human development by centuries. President Bennett addressed the United Nations on the first anniversary of the Neptune battle. 1 year ago, we fought for our survival. Today, we help shape galactic policy. The path was difficult, but humanity has found its place among the stars. In orbit around Saturn, Admiral Wright supervised the construction of Earth's newest vessel, the Defiance Aya. Unlike its predecessor, this ship was designed primarily for exploration and diplomacy. But hidden beneath its sleek hull were all the weapons and defenses that had proven so effective. She's beautiful, Wright told Lieutenant Miller, now Commander Miller, and his executive officer. And twice as powerful as the original, Miller added with a smile. Just in case. Wright nodded. The peaceful exterior with strength underneath. That's humanity's approach now. The aliens who worked alongside the humans had learned to respect this duality. The Iridian engineers supervising the construction had initially been skeptical of humans, but now considered them valued colleagues. Your species thinks differently, he told Miller. You prepare for the worst while working toward the best. It's admirable. In the former Kraxen Empire, now reorganized as a federation of planets with a less militaristic government, the new leadership studied human history obsessively. They were particularly interested in Earth's many examples of former enemies becoming allies after conflict. The humans fought us, defeated us, then offered fair terms, the new Kraxen Chancellor observed. No demand for reparations, no occupation, just mutual respect. We can learn from them. Throughout the galaxy, Human-style thinking became a recognized approach to problem-solving, combining creativity, adaptability, and decisive action. Several species sent observers to Earth specifically to study how humans had survived and thrived despite their isolation. On a distant world near the galactic edge, a previously unknown species detected the transmissions about humans. Their leaders debated whether to reveal themselves or remain hidden. These humans defeated the Kraxen, one argued. They might be dangerous. They offer friendship first, countered another, and only fight when threatened. Then we will meet them properly, decided their leader, without the mistakes the council made. The Defiance Ooze maiden voyage would take it to this unexplored region. As Wright and Miller stood on the bridge, preparing for departure, Earth Control sent a final message. Defiance II, you are cleared for launch. Remember our new first contact protocols. Open hands, open minds, but never drop your guard. Wright smiled at Miller, ready to meet some new neighbors. Miller nodded, checking that the ship's defensive systems were on standby. Invisible, but ready. Always. Let's show them who humanity really is. As the Defiance I moved away from Saturn, its powerful engines glowing bright against the darkness, observers across the galaxy followed its journey, some with curiosity, some with caution, but all with the knowledge that humanity had earned its place among the stars, not just through strength, but through the balance of power and principle. The Defiance I had traveled for 3 weeks toward the unexplored region of space, where the mysterious signals originated. Admiral Wright spent much of his time reviewing the limited information they had on this new species. What do we know about them, Commander Miller? Wright asked as they studied star charts in his ready room. Miller pulled up the signal analysis on her tablet. They call themselves the Venar, according to our translations. Their technology seems comparable to mid-tier council species. They've been watching galactic communications, but haven't announced themselves. Wright nodded thoughtfully. Cautious. Smart. The Defiance I carried a special diplomatic team led by Dr. Greg Howard, Earth's leading xenoanthropologist. Howard had developed a reputation for understanding alien cultures with remarkable speed. First impressions matter more than ever, Howard told Wright during their daily briefing. The Venar have seen both our strength and our restraint. They'll be trying to determine which represents the real humanity. Both do, Wright replied simply. As they approached the designated meeting coordinates, a neutral star system on the edge of charted space, sensors detected multiple ships waiting for them. 7 vessels in formation, reported the sensor officer. Moderate weapons signatures, but defensive systems active. Just like us, Miller observed with a slight smile. Wright opened a ship-wide channel. All stations, first contact protocol. Weapons on standby, but not visible. Shields at minimum. Let's show them who we are. The Defiance I slowed as it approached the Venar formation. The alien ships were sleek and curved, with hull designs unlike anything humans had encountered before. We're receiving a transmission, announced the communications officer. On screen, Wright ordered. The view screen displayed a being with silvery skin and large, multifaceted eyes that reflected light like diamonds. When it spoke, its mouth didn't move. Instead, patterns of light rippled across its skin. Greetings, humans of Earth. I am Coordinator Sill of the Venar Confluence. We have observed your recent emergence into galactic society with great interest. Wright stepped forward. Admiral Daniel Wright of Earth Vessel, Defiance I. We come with peaceful intentions and hope for mutual understanding. The Venar's skin flashed briefly. Peace is preferable. Yet you come in a vessel with hidden weapons. Howard tensed beside Wright, but the Admiral remained calm. Yes, just as you meet us with 7 armed ships while claiming peaceful intentions. The galaxy can be dangerous. Preparation is not the same as aggression. For a moment, silence hung between the 2 vessels. Then, remarkably, the Venar's skin rippled in patterns that the translator identified as laughter. Well answered, Admiral. Perhaps our peoples understand each other better than I expected. Over the next several hours, initial diplomatic exchanges went smoothly. The Venair revealed they had deliberately remained hidden from the Council for centuries, observing but not participating. We found their hierarchy restrictive. Coordinator Sill explained during their first face-to-face meeting aboard a neutral station between their vessels. Species were judged by development timelines rather than capabilities or character. Howard nodded. Earth experienced similar prejudice. Yet you overcame it decisively, Sill replied. Your warning message changed the balance of power throughout the galaxy. Many hidden species like ourselves have reconsidered our isolation because of you. The diplomatic team learned that the Venair confluence consisted of thousands of worlds spread across a region of space the Council had dismissed as uninhabited. They had developed different technologies than Council species, focusing on biological integration rather than pure mechanics. We believe your approach to galactic relations could be compatible with ours, Sill told Wright. Neither conquest nor submission, but mutual respect. As their meetings concluded, Wright and Miller stood with Howard in the observation lounge, watching the Venair ships perform an elegant formation maneuver, clearly a demonstration of both skill and trust. They're showing us they have nothing to hide, Howard said, while still demonstrating capability. Wright smiled. A balanced approach. I think humanity has found kindred spirits. Miller watched the ships with professional appreciation. They navigate differently than we do. There's much we could learn from each other. The first treaty between Earth and the Venair confluence was signed a week later. A simple agreement of non-aggression and open communication. It was a modest beginning, but both sides recognized it as potentially historic. As the Defiance I prepared to return to Earth with news of their discovery, Coordinator Sill sent a final message to Admiral Wright.